Brodie time, Brodie time, Brodie time, Brodie time, Brodie time. Welcome to another episode. I'm naming this section Brodie time. I'm actually going to rename it. I know I called it violence before. I'm just going to name it Brodie time because that's what it is. We're going to spend time with your Brodie. I use that word often, trying to not scrap some things, but just go different about some things with the with this part of the podcast, because this is my part. This is where me get to be me. No Mitch, no Tad, no Shelly. Just me by myself. Something I've been trying to do for a long time, and I should do it more often. I was encouraged to have more solo pods, so hopefully, with timing, because I work a lot. Like, for instance, today I just came off a 13-hour shift. So a nigga is tired. But I wasn't tired enough to not talk. I definitely wanted to give some content out to you guys to make sure that you guys are still engaged, still supporting the podcast. I want to thank everybody for listening, viewing, giving us the platform. Thank you for coming out to the events, especially the brunch. The brunch was very successful, as we spoke on the hypothetical pod. It was something. It was an event. It was quite an event, and some of those visuals are out. Actually, most of the visuals are out. The pictures are out. I believe a new video dropped today. Shout out to Team Eden. Those guys really captured the moment, and they party with you. So I've never seen that from a photography team, but it's very interesting. Oh, you know what? I have seen it, but I've seen a collective of photographers do that knew each other. But these guys were different because they were an actual team. They were like short shirts. They were in unison. They said, "Oh, come over here, be there," and all throughout the whole party. But shout out to them. And shout out to anybody that came to the brunch and supported the brunch. I appreciate you guys a lot. Maybe down the line we'll do another event. I don't know yet, because that was a lot. That day was a lot. That day was so, so much going on that it literally made it, and my social battery just went dead after that. And I don't know if you guys ever get to that point where you party so much, you be outside so much that your social battery just like drains, and you just need that time to just rest. You just need that time to be like, yo, I'm sitting the fuck down today. That's what that Monday and that Tuesday and maybe that Wednesday was for. I wasn't posting as much. I wasn't talking to really nobody like that. Just the people I needed to talk to. But other than that, it was like I wasn't the social butterfly that I think I am. Because a part of me doesn't feel like I am, but a part of me does. Because I do talk to people a lot through my DMs. I actually talk to more people on my Instagram than my own text messages. Because whatever. But yeah, thankfully everybody came, and such a great event, man. Such a memorable event. Something I'm gonna remember forever. I'm very optimistic in these situations, but I have my worries. But I don't ever overtake what my optimism is with situations. So shout out to you guys for that. Yeah, Brodie time. I know I had the previous show, Violence, and violence is cool, but you gotta grow up, man. I got a little mark on my hat. You gotta grow up, man. You gotta grow up, and I think that's where I'm at right now. Growing up, I know. 40. You finally grew up. 40, nigga. Like, yeah, I know. This is fruit punch in my cup. I'm not drinking alcohol. It is a school night. I'm good. I literally have work the next day. I got to be up at 8. Well, it's actually 7 to get to work by 8. But not drinking. But yeah, again, just renaming this whole section Violence Podcast. It's going to be Brodie time now. That's what I'm going to go with. If anybody want to throw me your ideas, be my guest. I'm willing to throw it. And I'm going to be looking down most of this podcast because that's where my screen is at, and I got to make sure that everything's copacetic because I have an old-ass laptop. Go fuck yourself, because I don't care. I'm not buying a new laptop until I'm ready, until I'm financially ready. And I'm working on setting myself financially credit card debt free. I'm literally a couple $100s away. I'm just waiting for certain things to fall, certain pay periods to pass, and then I can handle my handle. And like I said, with anybody that has any type of goal in mind, do the little stuff, do the work, keep your head down and do the work, and you'll get there. I don't really have topics. I just have like stuff that's just all over the place. So, again, same way that the Violent Series went, but just going and what I write, just random shit. So I'm gonna be everywhere. I don't have no type of structure. So here we go. Podcaster versus real life. Now, obviously I have a podcast. I have 2 podcasts. I have an entire network with 2 podcasts. And I'm always willing to go on anybody else's podcast and platform and bring guests here and give you content. And I try to give you as honest as I can. And there's some times where some capping has happened, we glorified some stories, we made it bigger than what it seemed, or made things smaller than what they seemed. Even that's happened too, where we didn't really speak everything, because at the end of the day, when you're a podcaster, you're pretty transparent. And I think with being transparent is that you kind of let people into your business. So you got to protect those people in your business too. So you try not to drop names. You try not to even up scenarios or even give timelines to things, because people will call you on it, to call you out on it. I've been called out a few times, and I'm only speaking for myself. I can't speak for the other guys. But I've been called out a few times, and yes, there were women who said things to me and said, "Oh, are you talking about me? Or are you talking about this? Or are you talking about that?" And I clarified those situations. So I always say, with this podcast life, does come a part where people will press you about things. They would like to take what you say, because again, when you're in a podcast, you're an open book. They like to take your business that you let out and press it to you. And me, I don't mind, because I always have the good intention of telling the story as accurate as I can possibly, but at the same time, protecting those who are in the story. Now if I say a name, or if I say a friend of mine or people close to me, I usually have the green light to say those things. But if I don't, I really try to keep it discreet. I try to keep it as respectful as possible, because at the end of the day, it's about respect. That's all it is. At the end of the day, you don't want to throw somebody's name in there. So that's what I would say about like being a podcaster versus real life. But I think the hardest thing I'm having trouble with now as a podcaster, and doing so many, and I think I have like 70 episodes under my belt at this point between both podcasters, is there are times where, like, in my mind, I know what I want the content to sound like, but I can't really compute it that much when I hit the record button and I'm in front of the microphone, and I just forget things. And I know I should be taking notes. I should be jotting down details. I should be putting things in my phone, writing stuff in my journal, and bringing it with me to the show. But I try not to do that because I don't want to overwhelm myself. But what I need to figure out is how to bring all that together, so when I do come to the show, I come ready and willing, and come with the facts, and come with the topics, and come with anything that anybody needs, because I try to give the podcast Gene. And then, because I don't want it to be two different people. I don't want to be called like, "Oh, you're not a real person." I don't know if anybody knows what that one I mean, but I said, like, I don't want to just be a podcast personality, and this is how I am in the podcast, and then when you see me in real life, I'm something completely different. I don't want to be that. That's never been me, and I think I've done a decent job with that, because there are people I have met where, like, it starts off with, "Oh, you got that podcast," and they just start talking reckless right from there. But once they get to know me, I think they know that, okay, I'm still reckless, but I still have some decency with me, if that makes any sense. So with the task that I've been trying to put with myself is like, yo, whatever you're doing on the podcast, make sure you're doing it in real life, and make sure whatever you're doing in real life, you bring it to the podcast. And you tell the story respectfully, accurately. And, you know, it's okay to embellish a little. It's okay to maybe even cap a little, not a lot, because I don't like capping. But I feel like sometimes you come to this crossroad where you don't want to put nobody out there, and you don't want to put too much of your business out there, because people will use the shit against you. This I know. If it's happened to, I'm not going to say who it happened to on the show, but it happened to them, and it wasn't pretty. But I always say, whether it's my co-host, whether it's Mitch, Tat, whether it's Shells, like, listen, once we cross that line, we giving people ammo. No matter what. Good, bad, happy, or sad, we giving people ammo. You know what I'm saying? And I know yours truly, I can handle the ammo because most of my stories are backed up. I can get to the source. I could tell you who this was, that, whatever it was about. You know, if you know me well, then you know who I'm talking about. If you don't know me well, you might be able to put things together. You know what I'm saying? But if you're trying to use the shit against me, then I'm going to make sure you won't win. You know, so again, separating the two, the podcaster and the real life. So with that being said, the state of the podcast. At one point I was at the crossroads with If You Don't Say It, We Will podcast, which is my baby. You know, I love it. We will continue the podcast. Mitch is my co-host. Tad is third mic. And we will continue to do our shit. Whether it's fuck shit, serious shit, sex shit. By the way, I love the sex episode. I don't know why, but, well, I know why. Sex sells, but it was interesting. I got a lot of feedback from those episodes. But again, the issue that I was having with If You Don't Say It, We Will, well, it wasn't the guys. It was merely the man in the mirror, myself. Because I felt like there was like 3 genes in those podcasts. There was the gene in the beginning. There was Gene in the middle, who was going through a lot of shit. And then there's the Gene of now. And the Gene in the beginning was just a happy-go-lucky guy, happy to just be outside, just being outside, just doing a podcast, finally getting the equipment, finally getting his boys, and just running off at the mouth, just having stories after stories. Oh, I got to tell this story. I got to tell that story. Just having fun, man. You know, just like anything you do that you're passionate about, those first couple times are just the most fun you remember, you know, and anything you do, anything you love to do. And I love the podcast. And I remember those days, and those days were fun, man. You know, kicking it with Mitch and getting the drinks and whoever was our guest, we just live it up. And I still listen to those beginning episodes. I love them. But this was before, for me personally, shit hit the fan. Because once shit hit the fan, I don't know if you noticed it. I think it was kind of like in the 20s of the episode, I started really losing, like my demeanor was like really in the shits. And it's because I was having some real life shit going on. And, you know, my tribe know exactly what's going on. At this point, it's pretty transparent, you know, and, you know, it's not my, and again, this is where I say, do I bring the real life to the podcast? This is one of my pump the brakes moments where I probably will one day discuss it, what happened. But as far as today, August 2023, whatever today's date is, I'm terrible with dates. Let's just say the 9th, August 9th, 2023. I won't be talking about it no time soon. But again, my tribe knows what happened. It shook me to the core. It wasn't the worst thing in the world. It is not the worst thing in the world because at the time that was what was for me. But it really did derail me, and it really made me lose focus on. First of all, it made me lose focus on what was important in life. And now all of a sudden my podcast was not important to me. And that was unfair to Mitch. That was unfair to Tat, you know, because they love doing the podcast. You know, when I'm not saying nothing, these guys are literally crawling up my ass, pause, to tell me when we do an episode, and I appreciate the urgency. I love you guys. I appreciate the urgency. I be wanting to do it, but at that time, a nigga wasn't trying to do it every week. You know what I'm saying? If anything, if I was doing it, I was doing it to get away from my problems, the problems that I wasn't solving head on. And you don't want to handle business like that. You want to take care of your business. Like I said before, a real man takes care of business and keeps it going. But at the time, things were beating me up. New issues arise that I wasn't ready for. And I was kind of like fighting with what kind of man I was going to be in these situations. But again, different conversation for a different day. One day, we'll all sit down as a podcast family, the fans and everybody. And, I'll let you know what's going on, what happened with that entire ordeal. Because right now, as of to this day, I'm done with it. It's done. And as far as that was the gene in the middle, now the gene that is here now is the humble gene, the calmer gene, the gene that wants to grow his podcast bigger, make the network bigger, be more consistent. I invested money into a lot of equipment. This mic I'm talking into is literally $400. You know what I'm saying? The other mics were $200. This Rodecaster was $700. I don't mind telling you guys that because you can look up the shit and it's on Amazon and tell you the same exact price. You know what I mean? I want to invest in more equipment. I want this thing to be serious. I want more guests. I want more shows. I want more exposure. But I don't want to, I'm not trying to be the most famous podcaster out there. That's not my goal. I have other goals. But I like to do this. I like to talk on these microphones because that's what I like to do. It's fun. It's fun to me. So this is more like this third version of Gene. It's just like, I'm grateful that I'm here. I'm grateful that I'm still doing this. I'm grateful that I still have the passion for it. I'm grateful that that I can do this. And I'm grateful that I still got my co-host. I'm grateful that I have 2 podcasts. If you don't say it, we will is the podcast that I have with my niggas. Hypothetically, is a podcast that I have with Shells. And I get to tap into 2 different parts of me. One is I have to have a conversation with my bros. One, I have a conversation with my sis. So it's like I get to broaden out my horizons, as they say, if you can understand what I'm saying. I get to do something here, I get to do something there. And down the line in the future, I will have more podcasts. I will have different avenues. Once I find a ecosystem that works for me where I can streamline everything into one, I will be bringing you way more content. And we will have more brunches, more live shows, more guest appearances, more special shows. We got a lot planned down, So thank you for rocking with me. Thank you for coming through. Thank you for just being here to all the Genes. This is the third version of Gene. Hopefully no more changes, but I would actually be thinking unrealistic if I didn't think of no more changes, but whatever. But you get what I'm saying. So, we got a couple things jotted down. I'm not going to keep you guys any longer. We are running at 18 minutes now. I'm going to try to keep it at 35. Let's just aim for 35. So, I was just writing stuff down on my phone, and one thing I wrote down is, would you date a person who don't fight for you? I know that sounds crazy because I've been the person who don't fight for people. I've been told that by women, and that's not a nice thing to do. But it does make me wonder, did you like her to begin with? I don't know. It's tricky because I'll be like, because I feel like as a man, like once a woman is done, that's it. There's no coming back from it. Like if the girl says like, I'm done with you and I'm not want to come back, what the fuck can you really do? And maybe that's just maybe for me, that's a trauma response. I'm trying to be open enough to admit that because I've fought for women before and failed drastically. I don't want to do that no more. So my thing is, if you are ready to up and go, then go. I know that sounds bad, and maybe I need to have a talk to with this. Maybe this is not the right podcast to talk about this on, but I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not fighting for you. I don't know if anybody share my sentiments, but I'm not fighting for you. I cannot do that. If you are a woman who has dealt with me and you say, I'm done with you, and you're out the door, I'm not fighting. I'm not going to hold your hand. I ain't gonna beg. I'm not gonna take no radio and put it inside your window. Say, baby, please come back. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm 40. I'm not doing it. I don't have that kind of time. And I'm not hurt from no past situation. It's not no who hurt you situation. It's more like what the experience I had with that. And if I did something that bad for you to just go, we probably are not compatible. If I'm just recklessly thinking like that and that just happened and you just want it, we're probably not compatible. We're probably that's not as good as together. We're probably better separate. That's just my personal opinion. So I'm not trying to sway anybody from not fighting anybody for your love, though. Like if you are in love with somebody, you are madly in love with them, and you would disappoint them, and they went away. By all means, do what you got to do. Do what you feel like it's in your heart to do. Go ahead and do it. Be my guest. Me, Gene Robert Usachi Jr., not doing it. I'm good. I ain't doing it. I can't sit here and waste that kind of time. If we get to the point where we are just no more, we are not good for each other, or you just feel like I'm not that nigga for you, hey, by all means, I'm all about finding your person. Go ahead. Be my guest. You ain't got, as a good friend told me a long time ago, you ain't got to waste my time. I ain't got to waste yours. You go to the left. I go to the right. Have a good life. That's it. You know? But at the same time, I don't know if people who separate from each other always find their way back to each other. I don't know if this is the same realm. Because I do know that people who mess with each other, or date each other, or be with each other, they break up, they separate, somehow, some way find themselves again with each other. Because you can't break that bond. That I believe is different from fighting somebody. But that's something I got to talk to with like somebody here. I can't really do that with myself. I sound a little crazy, but I think you get my point. I think you get what I'm saying. Like I can, if you want to go, you can go. You know what I'm saying? But if I got a bond with you, if I got this energy with you that every time I see you, it's on. Like if I see Shorty at a party and we ain't talked for 3 months and we look at each other and we act like we saw each other yesterday, that's something different. I don't think that's a me not fighting for you or you not fighting for me. I just think that's just like, that's just the times. We all got that one person that we see that's like, yo, what you doing tonight? Where you going? You coming home with me? I'm going home with you, or we get in this hotel room, or we are we gonna see each other tomorrow? Are we going on a date? Are you gonna call me? Am I gonna text? We all have that on and off relationship that's been lasting way too fucking long. What are we doing? What are we doing? I don't know. I'm not gonna speak for everybody. I'm gonna stop saying we. I don't know. I have a situation like that. I ain't gonna hold you. I definitely have a situation like that. You know, can't get enough of the girl. It is what it is. But we have these times where we don't talk to each other. It could be 2, 3, 4, 5 months we don't talk to each other. And then out of thin air, hey, a text, hey, or I saw you at a party, or you see me. And then literally that after 10 text messages, we in each other's face. We're on a date, or we in my house, or we're doing something with each other. I don't know. But again, I don't think that's different from, I think that's a completely different thing from somebody you date and they don't fight for you. Hey, you can go. Go. Be my guest. Get out. Not get out. Don't say that. That's not nice. But you get what I'm saying. All right, well, we had time. 23 minutes. Okay, so we spent too much time on that. I'm going to do a favor for everybody now. I'm not going to give out no more relationship advice. I'm not in a relationship. I believe that if you're a married person, you can give out married advice. If you're in a relationship, you can give relationship advice. I'm not in a relationship. The last thing I would say, the last bit of advice that I would give out is that if you with a person that makes you feel good and you make them feel good, just keep making each other feel good. That's probably the best thing I can tell you. Try to have respect for each other, respect each other's boundaries. Don't go out disrespecting nobody. Don't go out disrespecting each other. Don't make each other look crazy. Don't make each other look bad. If this person makes you feel good and that person makes you feel good, then y'all should be working on making each other feel good. To me, I've always seen that those are the best relationships. And I'm 40. I got plenty of friends who are married with children, long-term relationships, Some people going into their 15th year, their 20th year, high school sweethearts, all types of shit. You know, I got a homie at work. You know, he been with his wife for 21 years. 21 years he been with his wife. 21. They got married at 21, with it 21 years. He is 41. I'm 40. It's out there, guys. You just gotta work on the person that makes you feel good, and you make them feel good, and you just keep making each other feel good. There are gonna be some bad moments. Obviously, no relationship is perfect. It's gonna be some bad moments, but that's that. I'm not gonna give no more relationship advice because I'm not in a relationship until I get in one. When I get in one, then I'm gonna start shooting this shit with y'all. But I will just give you outside looking in type advice. You know, how to be a better dater, how to maybe court a woman, or maybe how to get her attention. I could do that stuff, but the relationship stuff I can't do. You know, I feel like that's not my lane. That's people in a relationship should do that. You know, I think I could tell you maybe the prerequisites or the pre-feelings. I don't even know if that's a word. The pre-feelings of a relationship. Like, why would you want to be in a relationship? What do you think it has to take to be in a relationship? You know, are you ready for these things? Are you going to do these things? Are you going to do the work? Are you going to keep your head down and focus on this one person? Maybe I could do this stuff, but the inside stuff with the relationship, I don't know. I don't have that. You know, maybe Mitch and Tat can help you with that shit because them niggas in relationships. I'm not. You know, I'm just going to sit here and take my notes with y'all. I'm going to sit there with y'all and be like, you sure we got to do this? All right, cool. All right, cool, bet. We're going to do it like that. Perfect. So I'm done with that. So no more relationship from Gene, okay? If you hear me say some shit, just remember I said that. Hey, didn't you say? All right, yeah, bet. You're right. Good. What we on time? Oh, okay. So trying to make this quick. Jumping off the porch. That terminology was brought to my attention the other day. Shout out to my brothers who's always making moves, especially for big financial moves. Love what they do. They inspired me to do the same. And been in talks with some of my other friends and really looking to make some moves, man. Really looking to take some financial risk. You know, I believe playing it safe don't really get you nowhere. Being content. I know living a comfortable life is cool. And I've been content for a couple years, but I think it's time to like really shake the table with certain things. And I feel like if you want to be successful financially, you got to be okay with being uncomfortable with some things. Being okay with failing, being okay with struggling, being okay with just maybe realizing that you're not good at these particular things and getting better at them as time passed by. So, you know, at the moment I'm house hunting, but I'm also business hunting at the same time. You know, I would like to acquire both. You know, and a house can be a business too, but I'm looking for something lucrative. You know, so jumping off the porch is going to have to be required. And my advice to anybody that's in the same boat as me, you're going to have to jump off that porch eventually. You're going to have to get off that safe spot and say, I got to go out and get this bag. You know, as much as I like my 9 to 5 or whatever it is, 9 to 9, 10 to 9, 6 to 8, 8 to 6, because I work on call. I don't want to do it for 30 years. I know that for a fact. You know, I like my job. I don't love my job. I like my job. But my job should be supplementing a dream or a vision that I have in the future. You know, the other day I had my entire family here, but we were cooped up in this apartment. It made me think like, yo, I should be having a house by now. My niece and nephew should be playing in the backyard, or they should be all in the basement, or they should be in the living room. You know, there should be a theater in the backyard. I should be able to cook out. You know, my father should be at the bar chilling. You know, we could be outside smoking hookah. There should be a basketball court here. You know, I should have extra rooms. I should have extra bedding. You know, and yeah, I should have a wife running around here. You know, being my partner and taking care of my family with me. I should, again, speculation, dreams, visions. But I say none of this, I can't get none of that unless I jump off the fucking porch. Anybody who knows me very well knows I play it safe with money. I know how to save it fast, but I've never done anything risky with it. I've only paid the debt I owe because I'm a man. I'm responsible for my own debt. I got to pay my own debt, period. No matter how stupid of a decision it was, whether it's a wild night outside and I spent $1,000 on bottles, guess what? I got to go to my savings, get that 1,000, put that shit right back because that's an L I got to take. Or it's some type of emergency loan I took out, or I got to pay these car notes, or, I buy this nice technology thing, or, whatever the situation is. I got to pay my debt. That's what I usually do with my money. Pay with my debt and just play content. But got to jump off the porch, man. So again, I'm house hunting. I'm business hunting. I'm trying to create multiple streams of income. It is not easy because a guy like me has been comfortable for a long time. If you can relate, you can relate. But if you can't, if you have any advice for Brodie, bring it to the table. I'm all ears. I'm all about business. I'm all about not necessarily getting rich, but just being comfortable. Like, I don't like working the weekends. I like to be off on the weekends. I'll work the weekend, though, because I like money, because that's what pays me. But if I could just ease back and just not do that, that'd be great. That would be nice. That would just be easy for me. I would just do that. So, again, jumping off the porch. We gotta jump off the porch. We gotta take risk. And we gotta do it. There's no other way to say it. We just gotta do it. You can't be scared, Because I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm scared. I don't like losing money. I don't even gamble. Like when them guys, shout out to my Jungle Juice crew. When them niggas be playing dominoes, they be playing for money. I'm not playing with them. I don't like losing. I'm a sore loser when it comes to money. I'm not a sore loser when it comes to like other stuff. I'm a sore loser when it comes to money. I don't like losing money. But scared money won't make no money. Meek was right. Scared money don't make no money. You can't be scared. So, a girl told me that one time too, man. I was this was a long time ago. This was before my dating days. And I thought that I saw her pretty as hell, whatever. Found out she was a good soul, a good person, like a very, very, like she wasn't stuck up her ass. And then I sent my best friend after her, and the message she said with best friend, like, listen, I appreciate you telling me this, but he need to come to me and talk to me. Closed mouths don't get fed. I said, oh shit. But anyway, jump off the porch. That's what I'm trying to get. Jump off the porch. What else I got here? I got a few things. I'm gonna use one more and put the stuff. Fellas, we got to be better daters. We got to be better daters, not better boyfriends. Better daters. And when I mean a date, I mean like courting women, sending flowers, giving multiple choices for where to eat, paying the fucking bill, grooming yourself, presenting yourself, being okay with no when you ask her out, not cursing her out, not calling her out by her name. It's okay for a girl to tell you no. She might be saving you, my guy. She might be saving you. It's okay to hear no. And if you do get a yes, give her some choices for where to eat. Just don't say we going here, we going there. I'm learning that now, actually. Usually when I date somebody, I already know where I know where I want to eat. But I never thought to consider. And shout out to my homegirl Munch. She kind of she inadvertently kind of put me on to game. Give a girl a choice. Be like, yo, I don't know what you're allergic to. I don't know what you like. I don't know how you eat, but I got these 3 places. If you have a suggestion, let me know. If you have a go-to, let me know. We can go there. I'll take it from there. I'll set the reservation. I'll tell you when. Give her a choice. Court her. Bring her flowers. First date. Flowers ain't killing y'all guys. Flowers cost whatever is in your pocket. That's the trick. Go into a florist shop. Ask for help. Be like, yo, I only got, I don't know, $40. What can you do? They will make it happen. Let me tell you, you know who about their money? Florists. Florists are about their money. They will not let you walk out. You got $20 in your pocket, they will not let you walk out. And if they won't service you $20, take your ass to ShopRite. Or take your ass to fucking Whole Foods. They have a florist. They have an in-house florist in there. And trust me, the flowers is just as good as the florist. I mean, the florists have better flowers, obviously. But their flowers is just as good. Bring flowers, first date. Put your pride to the side. What else? Grooming, please. Jesus Christ. Grooming, guys. Grooming. I'm not going to go over everything, but grooming. Hair combed, haircut. And take it from me, I get a haircut every 2.5 weeks now. It used to be worse. I used to get a haircut every 4 weeks. I didn't care about it. And then the girl I was dating kind of made a big stink about it. And it kind of like stayed in my mind. I'm like, all right, cool. You know, now every 2 weeks, every maybe 3, stretch it, depending on my work schedule or depending if I have an event. You know, but groom yourself. Smell good. Cologne. I got you. Hit me up. I know the colognes. And I got people that I hit up. I can refer you to them and they'll put you on the good cologne. A good cologne. You know, make sure your clothes are good. Make sure they're nice. They don't have to be the most fancy shit. You ain't got to wear Gucci, Louis, Givenchy, all that bullshit. You can if you want, if you got it like that. By all means, get it, my boy. You know what I mean? But you can go to H&M and dap it up. You can go to a Zara and dap it up. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you don't even have to go that far. You can just go put your fit together. Make sure it fits you. Make sure you're comfortable with it. You know? Groom yourself. Brush your teeth. Make sure your breath don't stink. Get dirt out of your fingernails. Exfoliate. I mean, wash your damn face. Wash your beard. Smell good. Trust me, a woman will always remember how you smell. Always remember how you smell. I still get compliments to this day. You smell so good. I remember that day that you smell so good. I always get compliments on how I smell. And trust me, it's coming from a man who 10 years ago did not wear cologne. 10 years, in my 30, when I turned 30, I did not wear cologne. I did not give a shit about it. Because some part of me was just like, I don't do that. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. I wish I would have just put cologne. I'm telling you right now, put cologne on. Easy. Present yourself. You're courting a woman. You want her to feel safe, but you also want to impress her. You want to show her that you are a clean man. You are a groomed man. You are a gentleman. Hold doors. Pull out chairs. Pay the fucking bill. Don't let her see the receipt. Pay the bill. You know what I'm saying? And then when you pay the bill, you know, do it fast because you don't want to come off as a show off. Like, pay the bill. Just pay the bill. I'm going to say it again. Pay the bill. Pay the bill. We don't do halves. We don't do, we going half, we going Dutch. Well, you had this and I had that. We don't do that. Pay the fucking bill. Don't even look at it. You should already know how much everything costs because you picked the place. You gave her a multiple choice. Now she picked the place. All right, cool. Check the menu out. Put some numbers in your head. If you that type of nigga with the numbers, put the numbers in your head and just come up with the scenario. Real easy. Pay the fucking bill. I ain't got to say it no more. Pay the fucking bill. What else? Yeah, just be a better male dater. That's all. It's easy. Women get so wet off of that. Excuse me, but I'm telling you right now, it's when it's not 100% all the time. She gotta like you too. Don't get me fucked up. You know, there are some plate scammers out there. You gotta be aware. You know, you gotta be known when you're being taken to the cleaners. You know, I understand that. You know, you're talking to a guy that's been fooled a couple times in my 20s. Some 30s too, but yeah. Yeah, just be a good male dater. That's all. Why, when you get stability in your life, it has to be paired with a relationship? I hate that. I really, really hate that. This is what I mean. When you have a great job, you have your own place, you're in a good space, you're just good, like everything's good. People be like, well, why don't you have a girlfriend? Or ladies, they be like, oh, where's your husband? Where's your boyfriend? You're making all this money, blah, blah, blah. That is annoying. And I know we get that conversation from our elders. Sometimes we get that conversation from our peers too. Shut up. I don't care about that. Let me enjoy my Netflix. Let me enjoy my Uber Eats. Let me enjoy this while this lasts. When I'm ready to do it, I'll do it. Let me enjoy my success. This is my success. I did it. Me. I want to thank me. Last but not least, thank me. I want to do it. Period. Let me enjoy it. My success does not have to be paired with a relationship. Just because I'm making all this money doesn't mean I need a girlfriend. Just because you're making all that money doesn't mean you need a boyfriend. Does not validate any of this stuff. We got to stop that. You know what I'm saying? That's just my personal opinion. You could disagree with me if you want. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's the way our parents did it, and our parents before our parents did it. You know what I'm saying? Those generations did it, but this generation, I don't think a lot of us are on that. You know, maybe it's the reason why a lot of us are in our 30s and still not married and still single. Well, y'all in your 30s. I'm in my 40s now. But don't let that discourage you. But that doesn't mean because you are achieving a level of success that you need to cohabitate with somebody, or you need to be with somebody, or you need to be in a relationship with somebody. Nah. I don't like that. I don't like that narrative. Fuck that narrative. If you are successful and part of success is planning and management of something of some type, and it involves nobody, that is perfectly fine. I know people who are homeowners by themselves, who are business owners by themselves, who are living by themselves, have their own apartment by themselves, doing their things by themselves. They don't need somebody to validate that. Stop that narrative. And again, most of it comes from the elders, but it does come from your peers too. You know, especially for women, black women specifically. Black women is not validated by having a husband. Stop doing that. You know, we got to protect them. We don't have to hold them against this shit of, oh, if you're not married, you're not valuable. Shut up. Shut the fuck up. I don't care if you're in the church. I don't care if you're elderly. I don't care if you're a peer. Shut the fuck up. Do not do that. That is not fair. You know, that is not fair. Your time will come. But if you have control over it, your time will come. If you are successful, your time will come. You're fine. When you want it to get done, you'll get it. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you're looking for Mr. Right to come through, then that's something a little different. If you're looking for Mrs. Right, that's something different. I would say become an active date. Active date. Go out there and get your Mr. Right or Mrs. Right. By all means, use the leadership privilege. I like that a lot. So you want to start working at my job now? Taking serious money. My parents are like, yo, when are you going to get married? When are you going to kids? I'm like, I want to do that. I want to enjoy this money. I'm about to TV. I'm about to another car. I'm about to do this. About to do that. I'm trying to save for a house. Trying to start a business. I can't do that with nah, I'm good. You know, I understand it. So, all right, well, I'm going to conclude there. Again, hopefully more solos in the future. Flex bomb for that. I got an air horn too. Yeah. It's getting this a little low. A little low. Let me see if I can. There we go. Yeah, so thank you for rocking with me. I appreciate it. Maybe once a month, maybe once every 2 weeks. Because I could just come home and do this. I don't have to wait nobody. No shade to those guys. No shade to Shelly. No shade to Mission Tat. Love y'all. You know, but I have the equipment, so I can do this. So it is what it is. And it's in my house. Yeah, so thank you guys for rocking with me. Big Brodie time. I'm going to name it. Maybe I'll change the name again. We'll see. But appreciate y'all. Jump off the porch. Yeah, you know, I'm not giving out no more relationship advice. I'm doubling down on that. If you hear me give out relationship advice, say, Gene, shut the fuck up, y'all. You wanna, or just test me. Just come at me like, you in a relationship, nigga? I'm like, all right, cool. No, all right, cool. I ain't gonna say nothing. But thanks. Jump off the porch. To my niggas, be better daters. Stability does not mean relationships. You already know the state of the podcast. Podcast versus real life. Trying to bring both together. Trying to bring you the real. But sometimes a nigga forgets. So, but anyways, Thank you. Have a good night. I'll see you guys on the other podcast. We are recording this week for If You Don't Say It, We Will. Trying to get that going. Hypothetically, is on a week hiatus. Shelly's on vacation, enjoying her month, so we let her have that break. And yeah, appreciate you stopping by. Hopefully you guys hear this before the other episodes, but if not, whatever. Fuck it. All right, guys. Have a good night. See y'all.